アイスH。
Okay, I can't be the only one who gets like Astro Boy or Jetsons vibes from this arc so far. Am I the only one? I can't be the only one. Hi, I'm Vegapunk Kana, and this is chapter 1062 of One Piece titled Adventure in the Land of Science. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button while you're at it. Let's get this video to 50 likes, huh? First off, let's talk about this cover page real quick, because I don't often talk about the cover pages, but most importantly, is that my boy? Is that my boy Aokiji? Why is he in Whole Cake Island? I think the question would be like, I think what I should ask is he working with Blackbeard still? More than likely he is. I don't see why that would change, but it's like, I know, when I say working, I mean quote unquote working with Blackbeard. But I have no idea what's going on. I can't wait to see what's happening in the rest of this cover page story, because I did not expect to see Aokiji. He just froze like the whole place. You got citizens and all just frozen. So that's very, I gotta see what's going on with that one. I have to see, that's my boy right there. I need to see what's going on. So anyways, back to the Straw Hats. So, the Straw Hats are surprised that this is actually Vegapunk, right? And Frankie, he's like, Vegapunk, you're like my role model. I'm like your biggest fan. And of course, Sanji is simping. Everyone's going crazy over the robot, but Sanji, you know, he's gonna go crazy over the girl because it's Sanji. Classic Sanji fashion. And then, Robin goes, hold on, just a moment now. This is the first time I've heard of Vegapunk being a woman. And on top of that, you look too young, right? They say Vegapunk has been active for many years. So what's going on? I like how observant Robin is. She's just like, I see you, girl, with your silicone titties. You ain't fooling nobody. You fooling Sanji, but you ain't fooling me. And then Vegapunk says, who said that this was the main Stella body? And then all of a sudden, this is Vegapunk number 2. We'll get into like the different stuff later on, but this Vegapunk gets a call from Vegapunk number 1, not the main Vegapunk, but still like another robot, correct? And this robot is called Shaka, which is the logic version of Vegapunk. So Vegapunk 02, the one who quote unquote rescued the Straw Hats, is like, ha, you fools, I'm not here to rescue you. And then Shaka, which is the logic, calls up Vegapunk 02, right? And then he's just like, look, you need to act right. These are the Straw Hats, okay? You know you captured the Straw Hats, but do not underestimate them. You see that swordsman over there? He about to kill you. He about to freaking kill you. You see that stance that he's in? He's calm. That means you about to die if you don't chill out within the next 5 seconds. And I like how they give glory to Zoro. Bump Sanji, by the way. No, I'm just playing. But no, I mean they're staying focused on Zoro, and then they also stay focused on Robin because they're both very calm in this certain situation. So it's like, watch out for Zoro, watch out for Robin, okay? But mainly Zoro. This man was looking at Robin and going, you see how her arms are folded? That means you about to get folded. Nah, let me stop. But in all honesty, yes. So, and this logic portion is this logic machine or robot is the logic of all the Vegapunk robots. We'll get into that a little bit later. But then Zoro goes, hey, Vegapunk, I want to ask you a few questions. So cooperate with me now, okay? And Shaka, the logic portion, says, no matter, bring them here. I have an interest in that crew. Then we cut on to Bonnie and Luffy and Jinbei and Chopper, and they're talking, and then we get confirmation that Bonnie's father is indeed Kuma, which I saw coming. A lot of us saw coming, really. So Bonnie's father is Kuma, and she's looking for revenge. Or more so, she's looking for answers from Dr. Vegapunk on why her father is a living weapon. So we have Bonnie's motivation here, which is good. We know what she's here for. I mean, we already kind of did last chapter. but we know who it is, who the father is. And it is Kuma. Kuma, you are the father. I'm telling you right now, Bonnie, how old is Kuma? And how old is Bonnie right now? Please do not let Bonnie be like some little girl, because I actually have Bonnie in my top 3 list of best girls that I want to smash. And you know, if she's not of age, then I'm gonna have to turn myself in, right? But if this is Bonnie's original form and she's actually a grown woman, all right, dope, cool. We're in the clear. We're good. We're good. Anyways, back to the chapter. So as they're talking, they're walking, and they're going down this ladder, and then they enter in this building, and then they enter into this city. And it's a very robotic city that reminds me of the freaking Jetsons. You got all these crazy robot dinosaurs everywhere, these interesting platforms. It looks like an amusement park, honestly. And yeah, it's really cool. I haven't felt this way since I seen Toy Story, where they entered in Pizza Planet in the first Toy Story. That's just what this feels like to me. I don't know. That's the first thing that popped up to my head. I don't know. Turns out in this place, everything is really just a hologram. Most things, right? Because Luffy gets launched at a dinosaur, and then he goes right through it. He's like, what's going on? And then they see food, right? And this is actually very interesting. They see food, and they lunge at it. Of course, Bonnie lunges at it too, because she likes food and stuff, right? So Luffy, Bonnie, and Chopper, they lunge at it, and then they fall right through it. And it's like, oh, it's a hologram. Ah, we got tricked. And then Luffy's just so angry. He turns into like this dark Nika form. It's like he turns into, because he has like the cloud and everything around him. His hair is all fiery, right? But his hair is black instead of white. It's like he becomes Dark Nika or something. I just thought that was funny. I like how Oda's playing with this. I want him to keep doing that. Keep playing with it. Keep having fun with it, Oda. Do you, man? Because I like what you did with this Nika stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. So Jinbei takes note that they're at a winter island, but the inside of this building has like a tropical setting, right? And then this robot comes along, right? And this is Vegapunk number 6. And she explains, yeah, that's the setting that we can set it on. We can change like the temperature of everything, the ground and all that. And Luffy's like, oh, I bet you're a hologram too. And he punches it, and this robot gets pissed. And he's just like, man, she just socks the crap out of Luffy. But I'm looking at this robot's design, and I'm just like, what in the Astro Boy am I looking at right now? And like, this straight up reminds me of Astro Boy. Like, just like her vibe, her shoes, everything she's got going on. I like this design. It's really cool. I think I'm gonna like this character a lot. But anyways, so she knocks Luffy into this meal machine maker, and it straight up just makes a straight up Happy Meal for Luffy. And it's like, oh man, like legitimate food. You can touch it and everything. And so the robot is explaining what it can do. This Astro Boy looking robot is explaining exactly what this food machine can do. But then the robot gets mad because they're like, okay, why can't we mass produce this thing though? Is following the blueprints that hard? And so she just straight up gets angry and flies up and punches a hologram. And the hologram gets legitimately hurt. She interacts with the hologram. And I'm just like, what the heck? I was like, because at first I was just like, was that one real? Did that just happen to be real? But no, that was the hologram. And they're confused by this, so am I. And then the robot goes on to explain why she was able to interact with the hologram. She then proceeds to say, my photonic gloves make it possible to physically interact with light. Remember this. This is going to be important. These gloves are going to be important. Don't forget this. I promise you it is. I don't know if it has something to do with Kizaru showing up or something. I have no idea. Maybe, someone fights Kizaru and they don't have hockey and they need a way to interact with light, something along those lines. Who knows? But let's just say, like, maybe it was something else. Maybe it can be for something else entirely, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, like, is it possible to store light? If that is the case, because it interacts with light, that's all we know. It interacts with light. So can it store light? I asked that question because is it possible to make a gauntlet version of these gloves and give it to a particular character who reacts off of light, and that person can, use that, what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but that would be a cool idea. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. At this point, Jinbei asks, "What are you?" And she says, "Oh, I'm just your resident scientific genius for hire, Dr. Vegapunk." And, it shows that this is Punk Atlas, the Wrath version. This is Punk 06, Punk number 6. And then Bonnie goes, "Oh, that's a complete lie." She doesn't say that, but she thinks it in her head, which is partially true and partially not true, at the same time. Because this is a part of Vegapunk's mind. This is the Wrath part of Vegapunk's mind. After this, we cut to the world government and we see Rob Lucci and the others sitting around talking. And they're talking about how their mission is to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk. Which, in my opinion, is freaking stupid. We don't really know why the world government, they don't explain why the world government wants to do this. Even Rob Lucci is, and you know how Rob Lucci is. Rob Lucci, he just wants to kill things. He doesn't really ask questions like that. But even Rob Lucci questions it. He's like, "So we're going to assassinate the single most useful man in the world." You can even tell Rob Lucci's like, that's kind of stupid. But it's like, Kaku is like, "Hey, don't question it. Don't question it. Just, we got to do what we got to do, right? You don't want to get in trouble." And it took us a minute to get back up to where we are now. Ever since we lost to Luffy and them, we gotta leave. But in this scene, they also explain the many different versions of Vegapunk. So he split himself up into different parts. His mind up into different parts because he needed more things to get done. So there's Punk number 1, which is logic. We talked about that earlier in the chapter. That's Shaka. That's his logic part. Punk number 2 is the first one that we met, the evil part, and that one's name is Lilith. Then Punk number 3, we have Flare. We have not met this one yet. This one's name is Edison. Punk number 4 is Wisdom. This one's name is Pythagoras. I've never heard of that name in my life. I'm sorry, I feel so illiterate right now. Moving on. Punk number 5 is Wrath. That's Atlas. We've all heard of Atlas, right? Greek mythology holding up the planet, or in some translations, the entire universe with just his strength alone. And then we have Punk number 6, which is the last one. Well, okay, this is the weird one, right? Because it's kind of switched, because it says in this translation, we have to probably wait for the viz for this one, but it says that Punk number 5 is Atlas, and Atlas was Punk number 6. So I think this is a mistranslation here, but I'm gonna just continue on. Confusion aside, we're just gonna leave that there. But Punk number 6, it says Desire, which that one's name is Yoke. I think 5 and 6 need to be switched or whatever, but whatever. We'll find out very soon. Anyways, so I like this setup. We have a nice introduction into Egghead Island. We have a nice setup with the different robots and characters and whatnot. I'm enjoying this very much so. This arc is, those new arc feels are always nice, right? When you enter in a new land, you're seeing what's going on. I'm liking where this is going so far. I like the technology, the futuristic lifestyle, right? So I can't wait to see more, because I'm pretty sure we haven't even scratched the surface of Egghead Island yet. Also, those gloves, crazy. Those photon gloves, crazy. That's coming in handy. Don't you ever forget it. I called it. I'm pretty sure other people are calling it too, but just in case anyone gets the idea that that's not going to be important at some point, it will. Definitely. Before I finish off the chapter, I want to also mention that we have a Seraph Kuma here. I don't believe this is the original Kuma turned into a Seraph. I believe this is actually like a legitimate copy. And so that's also what's going on with Rob Lucci and the gang. They're actually going to send this one back to Egghead Island. So this is going to be an interesting time. I don't think that Rob Lucci and everybody else is going to be like a 1v1 for Luffy and everyone else. Because let's be real, Luffy would destroy Rob Lucci as he is now, and Zoro would destroy Kaku, and Sanji would destroy whoever the heck he fights. It'd be such a pointless thing. So I think more is going to happen. I don't think these are our official 1v1s for the arc. I think we're going to get a whole lot more. It's just, hopefully this arc wouldn't be too crammed with too many characters. That's what I hope for, because I don't want the same thing to happen with Wano. Yeah. One thing I'd like to mention before we get on to the Reddit questions is that each of the robots' names has a form of a moon reference. So a lot of them are named after moon craters, right? Some of them have importance when it comes to the moon itself. And there are 6 of them, with the main stellar body being the 7th, which the main stellar body is the main Vegapunk body. At least I believe that's the main. I don't think it's a separate robot, right? But the main stellar body is actually Dr. Vegapunk. So I do believe, like this, with this being another moon reference, this is just like with Wano, where you had 6 families of Wano, correct? Each of those families' names were named after moons. It was Kozuki, Light Moon, Shimotsuki, Frost Moon, Amatsuki, Heaven Moon, Uzuki, I believe that's Rain Moon, and then Fugetsu, and then you have Black Charcoal, and then, you have all these moon references, correct? That's the interesting thing, is that Oda is continuing this setup, this trend of referencing the moon. Once again, I'm telling you guys, the moon is very important. I made a video about this. That was my first video ever. Nobody watched it, but it's fine. It's whatever. This is a continuation. I'm telling you, the moon is going to be hyper important. And I really think we're going to the moon at some point. It's way too big. And the fact that there are different moons. There are like 7 moons in total. There are 6 moons, but 7 moons technically, because one of the moons orbits around another moon. But anyways, that's just something I thought to be very interesting, is that he continued this moon stuff. I like that a lot. It gives me hope for the future. It really does. But anyways, let's move on to these Reddit comments. Man, Luffy going into Gear 4th because he can't eat invisible food is the best part of this chapter for me. Gear 5. Yeah, no, honestly, I like that part of this chapter. That's actually hilarious because it's like he's like in a dark Nika form. He goes halfway Nika. I love it. I love it to death. I want more stuff like that when it comes to just messing around with Gear 5. I really do. Does CP0 really believe they can kill Vegapunk? The guy who managed to, among other things, the pacifistas, the seraphim, artificial devil fruits, and seemingly has a never-ending arsenal of weapons with no limit to what they can achieve? Then again, CP0 are little more than thugs who think they can kill anyone. Oh, I can't wait to see Luffy beat the ish out of Lucci again. I think it's more of an assassination on their end, but looking at Vegapunk, he knows what's coming. Okay, so it's not about what CP0 thinks that they're doing. They just follow orders. And I mean, they think that they can achieve whatever they need to achieve. If you're strong enough, you can assassinate pretty much whoever you can. You just gotta have good planning and good training. That's it. But at the end of the day, this is more of a world government order, and I don't really know why they're doing it. It is dumb. It is pretty stupid. But, I mean, look. Only time will tell the reason why, but I don't know why they'd be like, oh, we have what we need, let's get rid of them. They also, in this chapter though, they do mention something along the lines of the destruction of Lelouchia Kingdom. They mention that's one of the things that's connected why they want to kill Vegapunk. So I don't really know. I don't know what's going on that one at all whatsoever. Bonnie for crewmate at this point. I knew they'd click, but the fact that Kuma is her father, or better said, was so shocking. See, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew as soon as people saw titties and a character that existed, they'd be like Bonnie. They'd be like such and such for crewmate. I knew it was gonna happen. But this isn't So far, this isn't like a regular thing spread among the fandom. Not everyone's thinking that she's gonna join, but they're going to because it's a One Piece fandom, and they would think a piece of dirt would join the crew. They honestly, so it really doesn't matter at this point. But yeah, but hey, you know, let you think what you want. Do you? I still think Carrot's gonna join, and I still think Yamato's not. But we all have our own little opinions that can be popular or unpopular, so you do you. This guy says Zoro is going to have flashbacks of her dad giving him the whooping of a lifetime. Yeah, oh my god, that would be interesting. I was like, your dad is the dude who whooped my tail? Like, this dude scarred me for life. Well, not literally, but like, he really messed him up back in Thriller Bark. Like, really did. And then you had them in Sabaody. That was crazy. You know, he showed up then and just completely demolished the Straw Hat. So yeah, if they find out, wait, Kuma's your dad? This dude destroyed us. I ain't messing with you. I ain't messing with you. But then again, no, I take that back, because Kuma did protect the Sunny. He did protect the Sunny. But anyways, I didn't finish this guy's comment. He also saved them from Kizaru too, so I guess they are even. Yeah. I wonder if Bonnie will comment on him attacking a celestial dragon back then. I kind of wish she would. That would be interesting, because that caused a lot of problems back then, Luffy punching a celestial dragon. That was a very interesting scene, not gonna lie. Yeah, there's a lot of interactions I want to see with Bonnie and Luffy. I'm loving the interactions with Bonnie and Luffy right now, though. Okay, let's move on to our pirate folk, because the main One Piece sub is boring the crap out of me. So let's move on. He's like, I don't need you. Vegapunk's microwave will take your place. Yeah, Vegapunk's microwave will take your place. Hey, it can. It certainly can. I don't need you no more, Sanji. Get out. You want to marry some random girl in Whole Cake Island? Go ahead. Peace out, Sanji. Peace out. You suck. Not just playing. Robin is smarter than every One Piece fan that thought Punk 02 was the real Vegapunk. Yeah, I'm guilty. I gotta take my L there. I for a second thought that, for a second, very short second, and then I got reeled back into reality. I thought that was the real Vegapunk for a second. I didn't even think. I was not using any logic whatsoever. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But yeah. Hey, that's what happens when you pay, well, not even just pay attention, but just my memory was shot. My memory of them mentioning that Vegapunk was a guy was completely destroyed. And I could not for the life remember that. But then, you know, reading the comments reeled me back in. So, thank goodness for that one. Why does Vegapunk build girls with arrows pointing too? Is that man unwell? You know what, I think he's unwell. I think he's very unwell, to be honest. This guy says he's just old and forgetful and sometimes needs a reminder of where things are. Yeah, nah, he has to be unwell. I mean, I assume that he's extremely old. I don't remember what they said, because I remember where Frankie was. That was one of the first places that Vegapunk stayed at. It was like a really snowy island, and it was one of the first creations of Vegapunk, I believe, or something along those lines. Like I said, my memory is shot. I don't really remember what happened exactly at that time. I don't at all. I guess Oda is an Evangelion fan. Young female clone called Lilith, wears a mech suit, O2 Asuka, piloting a mech, not complaining, but any more on the nose, and you might as well name the real Vegapunk Gendo or Shinji. I mean, I've honestly never seen Evangelion. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I've never seen not even an opinion. It's just an unpopular thing to do. I've never seen Evangelion before. Well, I've seen like a few episodes, right? So this guy says, so they're calling the Kuma Seraphim a problem child, and he's been taken back to Egghead Island. He's not on a mission with them. Part of Kuma's deal with Vegapunk was probably for him to regain his autonomy with the Seraphim. At least that's my guess, if he's the only one that is resisting. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I didn't think of that at first, but that may just be the case. Assuming that this is the legitimate Kuma. But then again, I'm assuming that this is just a copy. I don't really know. I think this is just a copy, just kind of like how everybody else is a copy, right? But if this is the legitimate Kuma, then okay, we've got somewhere, right? We've made it somewhere. But anyways, that's it for the Reddit comments. This was a very good chapter. Let me know what you guys think of this chapter as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please, by all means, please tell me what you guys think of the Mario movie. Please, because like, I like that trailer. Chris as voicing Mario isn't really... I'm not feeling that, but I'm feeling everything else. Jack Black is amazing as Bowser. He's surprisingly great, and freaking Toad. I didn't expect Key to sound that way when he was, I thought he was just gonna be regular voice Key. I'd actually been okay if regular voice Key just went into it. That would have been just funny to me. But he legitimately is trying to sound like Toad, and it's actually really good. He's doing a good job. I like everybody's voice so far, except for Chris Pratt. He just, like Mario, just sounds like a regular guy. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, that's me talking about One Piece and Mario. So please, by all means, like the video. Let's get this video to 50 likes, please. And subscribe. Don't forget to do that. Come and join the vagabond journey. It's not gonna hurt, trust me. With all that being said, Vagabond gone.